Hey, Tlittle here, and you're watching Tlittle TV. Today's video I'm gonna explain a little bit more. I'm gonna, answer a question that I got on Twitter from a fan. Um, Someone asked me in a direct tweet, um, what goes into my impressions, my Joker impression. Apparently they saw that I was writing a movie, and yes, I am writing a movie, and I'm working on the script right now, and as soon as I get the script done and I get all the pieces together, I'll make a short trailer, and I'll post it on YouTube so you can see basically what it's going to be about. But the answer to that question, what goes into my Joker impersonations, it's the same as anybody's impression. You know, you can try to do an impression of somebody that's been done before, and you're never going to do it quite the same way as the people that have done it before have done it. But still, you sit there and you try your best. You can only hope for the best. Um, my way of getting into my writing is I try to write at least like a page or at least one paragraph once a day, but I go like all out. As you can see from the leftovers, I take a blue Sharpie, I draw a smile on my face, you know. I can't put it near my eyes, so I draw like two triangles on the top and bottom of my eyes, and I convert myself into a clown, and I sit there and I sit at my computer and I think, how would the Joker do this? How would the Joker do that? No, the Joker wouldn't say that. No, the Joker wouldn't do it that way. He'd do it funnier. Is this the right place for the Joker to throw an acid pie at somebody? Is this the right place for him to order Harley around or to yell at her? You know, Basically, it boils down to that. And I try to stay true to the character, but you know, you can't do it the same as everybody else who's ever done it. Like the late Heath Ledger, the great Mark Hamill, um, everybody who's ever played the Joker. It's a long line of history, and yeah, I know this is a fan film, but most people, they make fan films and they get famous, such as like the Key Awesome, the Rad Brad, people like that. Um, they started out the same way as me, just sitting here at a computer. They had an idea, they put it down, pen and paper, went through with it. Somebody saw it, they liked it, they told their friends. That's my hope for this. My hope is someone's gonna see this movie when I get it finished, and basically they're they're gonna want to share it, and I hope so because although this has been a dream of mine for a while, it's been a dream since I was like 10 to do a Joker movie. Since I first watched Batman the Animated Series, I watched my first Batman movie at 11, and I fell in love with the Joker like instantly. That was like my favorite character. I would watch I would watch the movies, like all the Batman movies, because I like Batman as a whole. I like him. I like all the characters. But I would sit there and rewatch like Jack Nicholson and the original Batman and Batman the Dark Knight. Um, you know, and I like all the cartoon movies. Mask of the Phantasm, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. Such as that. And I would sit there and I would go into my mirror and I would try to do Mark Hamill's voice. That squeaky, high pitched voice. And some people say that's why my voice is still gravelly to this day. But then Heath Ledger came out and he showed us that you don't have to have the same voice as Mark Hamill to do the character. You know, you don't have to. Excuse me. Doing the Joker's voice sometimes it gives me hurts my throat. Yeah, you don't have to just sit there and do a squeaky voice. Um, you don't have to sit there and just go, "Why, hello there, the Joker's here." You don't have to do it like that. You know, you could, slap on some makeup and go out and just, just talk to the Batman and tell him, why do I have these scars? You can just sit there. You can just like drop your voice down a couple of levels. Not dark low, but low enough to where you know. And of course, you have to have the wild laugh. I mean, the joke is not complete without his laugh. But then again, like I said, everybody interprets the Joker different. Like my Joker is high pitched and squeaky, like Mark Hamill's, because that's the Joker I like. But I'm not a perfect match to Mark Hamill. I can't do like the Joker completely like him. But it's complex. It's a way of life. You have to commit to this character. You have to sit there and would the Joker do this? Would the Joker do that? And you got to ask yourself these questions, because if you don't, then there's always somebody out here who's going to be watching it and they're like, no, that's not something the Joker would do. This movie is crap. And as a director and as an actor, you don't want to hear that. You don't want somebody to tell you your film is crap. You can take it in strides. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm probably going to get some flack for this movie because I'm changing like a base storyline. I know it's small and like the end result is the same as it's always been, but the beginning is like completely different. But people ask me, what do I mean when I say like the beginning is different? Well, if you haven't read it, there's a comic called Batman the Killing Joke. And basically it explores one version of the Joker's origins. Because like the Joker said himself, he remembers it different one day, he remembers it different the next. If he's gonna have a past, he'd prefer it to be multiple choice. But the Killing Joke follows a storyline where the Joker was an engineer at Ace Chemicals and quit to become a comedian, and he failed. And he had a wife who was pregnant, and he turned to the mob for help. And the mob agreed to take care of him and his wife if he would go back to Ace Chemicals, wear a Pacific costume called the Red Hood. Yes, the same costume that Jason Todd, aka the second Robin, donned after he supposedly got killed by the Joker. But so they made the Joker dress up like that, and they paraded him around the place to go steal secrets, and he ended up falling into a vat of acid. And it bleached him. But necessarily, when it bleached him, it caused him psychological problems. In my version, it caused him those problems, but he backed out beforehand. And as punishment, he was pushed into the vat of acid. He didn't fall. And so the mob killed his wife and unborn child to teach him a lesson. And they let him live so that he could wallow in his loathing, in his self-loathing and depression for the remainder of his life. And he flips out and kills one of the mob's thugs. And he ends up going on trial for first-degree murder, but he gets pleaded temporary insanity because of a scene that I am currently writing that will be under wraps until the movie comes out. And trust me, it's going to be hilarious. But that's enough of the story. If you want to know what happens, then when I finally get the script written and I get the trailer out, then watch the trailer, watch the movie when I get it done, and you will understand everything. The movie and the trailer and the movie will be out 2 weeks in a 2 week period. I'll put out a trailer 2 weeks before I put out the movie. Because the trailer, I'll film, a few scenes, and I'll put out the trailer. But like the movie's not gonna take place in just one. Is not gonna take place in one place. I'm gonna film. I'm gonna film most of the movie here in Dallas. And then I'm gonna film a few scenes. In my hometown of Hampton. So, you know, and, you know, and you can't just make a movie. You have to have people there. You have to have certain places. Like, I have to get a hospital room for, I have to be able to find a hospital room that has a 2-sided mirror. I have to find a judge that will let me film a scene in a courtroom. With a jury of my friends and him and a couple of other people that just are gonna play small parts. Like somebody pretending to be that typey person, a pretend bailiff, but I want to get like a real judge to do it, to be the judge, and but everything's working out so far. It's hard, trying to write this movie because I'm not that good at writing. And I have a hectic schedule, so like a paragraph is like mostly I can write. And up until now I was able to write about 2 pages, but now I got writer's block. I mean, I can see the storyline in my mind, but I can't get it out. So I've decided to, talk to a few of my friends that are writers, and get them to help. So this is the end of my video about Joker Judgment Day. This is Tlittle, and remember, hit that like button, and as the Joker would say, Harley, roll 'em!